All right. First and foremost, I'm really happy for the players. When you go through a little bit of adversity, you've got to just find ways to play out of it. We started the game trying to control things, but the tempo of our passing was too slow. Somewhere 20 minutes, 25 minutes into the first half, you could just see the tempo of the passing pick up. Ball's moving quickly, the right number of touches. Diego's goal was a really good goal in terms of how it was, the ball moved and the timing. And that certainly gives confidence again. And that reinforces with players that these are the things that we've tried to do. And if you go through a period and things are not as sharp, then you've got to just focus on getting back to some of the basic things and doing them better and better, faster and faster. We got a nice push in the first half and then totally effed it up with a lapse at the end. But I like the fact that then at halftime we regrouped quickly. And then in the second half, we didn't give up a goal. That's important for us as we continue to try to just regain confidence. And then we finish it off with a good goal at the end. Number of good performances tonight. I thought our midfield at the beginning of the game with Mark playing a little deeper and Pancho and Sifu played really well. And then, of course, it's nice to get Edward back on the field late. He helped us with some composure, which led to the fourth goal. His way to give our team rhythm and just pick the right spots, that's still a big part of what he brings. I still think that the guys up front, regaining confidence, good to see Brad get a goal again, Brian with a really good pass to Diego. So all these things help as we try to move ourselves forward. We're really not a team that talks about things like MVPs until the season's over. But what we love is the way Diego has taken more responsibility. He's become more of a leader. You could see it in Orlando, and it continues. He's growing as a player. I've mentioned a few times how he works so hard on his finishing. That part keeps getting better. So we've challenged a number of guys to try to see if they can take more responsibility. That's Eddie Segura. That's Mark Anthony Kay. That's Diego, Edward Atuesta. And I think that Diego and Edward, before he was injured, those two have really shown that they can be leaders in our team. And then now we're just trying to build on that with Mark and Latif and Eddie and Tristan and others. So, but I'm really proud to see the way Diego just keeps focused on the right things. He's a really good team guy, and I think he's getting better and better. Yes, so I can't speak to who gets selected, but what I can speak about is the work I see from these two every day. Cheeky becoming more consistent, showing that he can be more of a competitor from the beginning of the game till the end, pushing himself harder. I think that at times in the past, Cheeky, because he has certain qualities, has been able to cut some corners, and I've tried to hold him accountable that as a teammate, that he shows the other players every day that he's a guy you can trust. He's a guy in big games that's going to come through. So that part I'm really happy to see with him. And then the development of Sifu has been incredible to see. When he arrived, you could tell that he was still a little nervous about things. His English at first, he was uncomfortable even trying to speak English. We have plenty of guys that could always speak Spanish to him, but what I've seen is him just try so hard to grow as a person. He now tries to speak English. He looks right at you when you talk to him. he's a really good guy. He's a really with a strong character, and so I think in this last stretch, he has really taken big steps forward. So we're always supportive of players with national teams, and I'm happy with the way both players are moving forward. Yeah, I mentioned a few minutes ago about leadership in the team, and Mark has worn the armband. Diego now has worn it. I think probably there'll be some times when Edward wears it. It's all about trying to develop some more leaders. We're a young team, and you've got to try to make sure that some of these guys who have been here and understand the way we play really take more responsibility every day with their teammates, on the field in games. And that's what I see from Diego. So we're going to continue to challenge all those guys in the way that they take responsibility and make our team stronger. Defensively, it's easy to say, oh yeah, the second half was better. For the most part, even when you look through this rough stretch, we don't give away that many chances, but we've made mistakes. We've had some goalkeeping errors. We've given up too many goals on restarts, defensive set pieces, where, especially on the second part of the play, we don't see the play through. So we've tried to see if we can work in different ways. And I just think it's important that when you've given up a goal right before halftime, instead of just letting that affect you, that there's a real focus in the second half. And that type of mentality is something that we need more of. The last week or so, we saw progress. He started to get more comfortable with just the way he could strike balls. And at first, he was a neutral player in training some days, and then he got into a little bit of regular training. So I spoke to him yesterday after training, and we talked about the possibility that he could give us 15 minutes based upon how the game was going. And you can see that when he steps on the field, even as he's coming back from injury, his intelligence on the field is really important for us. There are some players that just make everyone else on their team better. When they have the ball, they give the game rhythm, they make good decisions. And Edward is certainly that player for us. And so really nice to see him back on the field, and hopefully we can continue to move his minutes along. It was nice to see Pablo be aggressive on some of those plays. I know that he wasn't happy with his positioning on the goal right before halftime. So the best response is to put it behind you and be ready for the next play. So that was awesome to see. And I can't grade leadership. I challenge guys every day in different ways. And to try to get some of these players to take more responsibility, to help them understand what that means. When you take more responsibility on the field, it doesn't necessarily mean that you try more on the field. You still play to your strengths. You do things that make other players better. You set a tone in training every day. You have a good way that if a teammate looks after training some days like he's a little bit down, you have the way to find him and let him know that he's got to keep going. So there's so many aspects to being a leader and helping others, being a good example and helping others. And so I'm just trying to help all those guys with that part, because I think they're all very capable. Yes, Latif's a special guy in that regard. He's very versatile. I think I got asked the other day about his position, and I said, for right now, it's right back. And I think if you asked Latif, he would still tell you that in some way his right back is not his favorite spot. But if you're going to have a good team, you have to have players that understand in some moments that it's not about what they want to do or what they like to do. It's about doing what's best for the team. And you continuously try to find ways to challenge guys to do that. And so tonight, I think, was a really good example where I mentioned in the first half when we needed the game to go faster. From right back, I thought Latif really made a big difference in finding good spots, going forward in the right moments. He still competed, came away with loose balls, still wins some headers, even though he's obviously not a tall player. So he's versatile, and in the moment when you consider everything that's going on, I'm really proud of the fact that even if it's not necessarily his favorite position, that you saw the way he went about it tonight, and then that kind of mentality only helps our team.